What's going on?
What's going on?
Here we go. Welcome to 3 questions.
I am ready. Let's go.
I know we kind of just jumped right into it. Like, there was no intro. It was just like, what's up? Right there. So let's get right into the first question. I like to get right to it.
Okay.
So it's probably going to be the most basic question that people can come up with. Who is Kayo?
All right. Well,
Actually, really. Oh, side note, I really like your name.
Thanks.
Like when I first met you, I didn't know really how to say it.
Yeah, everybody says Kayo or like,
right.
You know, they just have no idea.
Right. So I just say, you know what? I'm just gonna wait till she says it.
Yeah.
And it worked out.
And it's the simplest, like,
Kayo. Two syllables.
Yeah.
2 syllables.
So yeah, who is Kayo? Kayo is a daughter. She is a sister. She is this fun-loving, witty person, but beyond that, she's a creative in many different aspects. So whether that's in dance, content creation on social media, and also a designer. I tend to do it all in many different forms. So when I say creation, I pretty much can like put my spin on anything and put the KO touch on it. And I really love turning nothing into something. So
real entrepreneurial spirit.
Oh yeah, 100%. Creative spirit.
Creative spirit. Okay. I mean, it kind of goes, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're running a business, you kind of have to be creative.
Some people aren't. I've had a lot of entrepreneurs come up to me and say, how do I, create promo videos, or how do I create, marketing things? And I'm like, huh? Like, to me, it's second nature. You know what I mean? But some people don't have that knack. They have like the analytical side, and then you have others that are like more creative and they can see like the visionary part.
Do you think that came from, I mean, you mentioned dance. Like, do you think that creative side of you, posting online, social media, like a couple of years or years of experience, you think that helps out as far as you being an entrepreneur?
1,000%, because that was my edge. Like, I think a lot of people have edges that they don't even realize that they have, that, what is it? The unfair advantage. So my unfair advantage is dance. You have your unfair advantage is knowing skill set within camera work. You know what I mean? Everybody has their own unfair advantage. And so dance just happened to be mine. And so knowing that, it really helped me, create a lane for myself in the creative realm and having to branch off in different areas for that.
So you would say dance is a real intricate part of you?
Oh, it's like ingrained in me.
You can't, that's you.
It's KO and then there's dance. Like I'm married to dance.
KO, dance, and then everything else.
Yep.
Okay, so dance is the husband.
Yes, 100%. So you're gonna have to compete with that.
Okay. Does he have to be able to dance if he comes into your life?
He won't have to, but he has to at least have rhythm.
So he can do the whole the hitch thing, the 2-step.
The 2-step, a nice little 2-step. We can work around that for sure.
I shoot a lot of dancers, so like I asked if it's like a real integral part of you. Because what I've seen is that people who dance, and me filming them, I have a lot of footage of dancers and people who are really, really doing it for real. And there's like a different side of them that comes out. You know what I mean? It's like, of course you know what I mean, because I've seen it with you when I filmed you.
Yeah.
So do you think, well, let's back up for a second, because when I first met you and I first shot you, you were really inviting. Yeah. Like your personality, like we never met prior to that. Yeah. We had maybe a 90-second phone conversation prior to that. Yeah. And when I got to the studio, hey, how you doing? Da, da, da. So but the funny thing is I've experienced that with a lot of dancers. Is that just a thing? It's
definitely a thing. Especially like at that studio that we were at. Their whole motto is good vibes only. You know what I mean? Right. So, and I think when you're just happen to be in an environment where you love, you're doing what you love, like, why be angry? You know what I mean? Why? And we're just coming off of pandemic, you know what I mean? So we're actually in a studio space where we can actually do things, so that's, why be stuck up? Why be angry? And I think to your point, you come across a lot of people that do have an attitude or do, whatever. And if they're not welcoming and inviting, that just rubs people the wrong way. You won't want to work with them again. And if I would have came off that way to you, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
Because when I contacted you about coming through, I wasn't like hesitant. I wasn't like, oh man, should I even talk to this person?
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. But I honestly haven't met anyone who I've actually worked with when it comes to dance that has had a bad attitude. It's wild. Now that I'm really thinking about it, preparing for this interview, like I was really trying to see, okay, is it any? Nah, everybody's literally been cool. Even the cameraman. Yo, what's up, man? It's like, it's okay, but you know, in other realms, it's not like that.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
It's
like
competitive and it's cut edge. Yeah.
Like I've experienced like in music and with other rappers. I mean, that kind of, you had battle rap, so people are gonna be aggressive in that.
Do you really?
I don't battle rap.
Oh, I thought you said you battle rap. I was like,
no. I don't.
Okay.
She was gonna say, "Wow, I don't have the face. I don't have the demeanor of a battle rapper." Is that what you're gonna say?
Well, I was about to say spit something real quick. But.
Nah, I'm not a battle rapper. I have rap though.
Okay.
So I do know that, and that's when you walk into a room and there's a lot of like other artists or other rappers in there. You kind of have to be on guard. But you don't have to feel that way. At least for me, when I'm filming dancers, you know. But then again, I'm the cameraman, so maybe that's my edge. I'm the cameraman, so everyone's cool. Hey, that's the camera. We cool, but we good with that.
It's like when we're not dancing, we're the nicest thing, but when we are dancing, that is when our inner like persona comes out, depending on what that is trying to bring out of us. Sometimes if it's a hip-hop dance, we're aggressive. If it's like a sultry dance, we're flirty, you know what I mean, and seductive, you know what I mean? So it really depends on what is coming out of us, and that's the spirit side, that creative energy.
Well, you kind of going into the second question.
Let's do it.
So like, you're already into it, so I'll just ask it because you're already explaining it. I was gonna ask, what is it about like dance, right, specifically, that is so inviting to different people? Like you can, different cultures, people will watch it and be like, okay, that's tight. Oh, I'm not really feeling that, but that was cool. And it's like with hip-hop dance or with ballet dance, people seem to be captivated by it. Like if you say, for instance, you go to Times Square, and everybody from different walks of life will sit back and just enjoy the show. What do you think that is? That's so like that pulls people in when it comes to dance?
I think there's two different perspectives. It's a perspective of a dancer, and then there's a perspective of someone who is just a spectator, right? And I think the perspective of a dancer is understanding the training that went into what they're producing. Because if I look at a trained ballet dancer or a trained hip hop dancer and I see the way that they move, you can tell like, oh, they have been doing this for a long time. You know what I mean? This is something that is just embedded in them. You know what I mean? It's natural. Comparison to if a spectator is looking at them, sometimes they'll be like, oh, she's just standing on her tippy toes. No, for a dancer, she's on the box of her toe. You know what I mean? Like there's a terminology that we use, and it's like all respect around the board. You know what I mean?
So just amongst dancers.
Just amongst dancers, right? So, and if it is someone that is just a spectator and they're kind of just, you know, looking and observing, they can respect it, but it's just on a different scale because they just think it looks good, or it makes it look like, for instance, I did a TikTok dance the other day with one of my girlfriends, and to us it was actually a hard TikTok dance, but we think about it and it's like it's TikTok dances alone are just different, you know what I mean? Like they're not as trainedly skilled, but you have some people that want to be able to do stuff like that, and it's like, it's actually hard. You know what I mean? It's actually hard to like remember it and do stuff like that, but they just think it's easy, you know what I mean? So because we make it look easy, because we make it look a certain way. So
speaking of TikTok, when it comes to like social medias and stuff like that, is that like a I guess it is like a really good tool to use to as far as build your audience as a dancer. I guess it really is, because you guys don't have to have routines that are like 10 minutes long. I think the 60-second format online, especially on IG and on TikTok too, right? They only go like 3-4 minutes or something like that. So, but a 60-second dance is actually like perfect.
Social media has changed the game when it comes to marketing dancers. And entertainers alone, you know what I mean? Because you can take a 60-second or less, and reels can be even 15 seconds. It doesn't even have to be that long. But you can tell from that instance, wow, you're captivating. You know, you want to watch them, and you go to more of their content, and now you want to hire them for a gig or a show or whatever, you know? So it has really changed the game. And honestly, the influencer market alone, you know, they're making bread from TikTok and social media. So
I've noticed. I've noticed, and it's wild because I tell a story all the time. Like, I didn't know how deep or how big the dance world got.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And there was a time when I was shooting in Virginia, and they were announcing the next dancers that were coming through, and they announced one guy, Giannis. Am I saying his name right?
Yep.
Giannis. Okay, so they announced he was coming through. When I say the room, like
yeah,
I was like,
who is that guy?
Yeah. I'm holding the camera, like trying to get everybody's reaction. I'm
like,
who the hell is that? I got a chance to meet him. He was actually a really cool guy, nice guy. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't realize that but social media too, like you said, has definitely changed the game, and it's introducing people that normally wouldn't have been introduced unless you were walking through Times Square.
1,000%. Yeah.
You know, so that's actually pretty dope, man. So like, you know, you get people's personalities right when they dance, right? And we're going into the third question. I was looking up your other part, the other part of Kayo, the Authentic Martian, right? And tell me a little bit about that. Like, where does that name come from? Because for me, when someone calls themselves a Martian or whatnot, it's like the other.
Yeah.
It's like I'm separate.
Yeah.
But that's not the vibe that I'm getting from you.
Yeah.
Or your brand.
I mean, it's a leader of the pack. You know what I mean? It's someone who doesn't follow. They lead their own tribe and whatever tribe they tend to do. So, you know, it's a creative empire so that people can, from all walks of life, it's a daily reminder of like who you are.
So it's not just it's not just clothing. It's actually like a way of life.
Yeah, it's a way of life. Yeah. And so when people buy the clothing, they buy the lifestyle, you know? And so what I've done is I created like hand painted jackets, and actually the logo is I am, you know? So it's I am and then whatever you want to fill in the blank with, but they're walking affirmations. And so it's just been so cool to kind of see everyone's different affirmations and the client saying like I am, and then they'll fill in the blank, and it's like, wow, it's a movement, and that's really what I aspire to leave a stamp on this world. So
okay, so I mean, I would tell you one thing, like the site that you have is actually dope.
Thank you.
And your marketing is on point too. So is that all you?
Yeah.
All of it? So you coded your website. Tell the truth now.
No, Shopify, but I mean,
you put it together.
Yeah.
So how long did that take you?
I mean, at least 3 days. Yeah. I mean, but I'm the type of person that go on YouTube University real quick. Yeah. Type on something and I'm like, oh, okay, figure it out that way, and then I'll just do it, you know? So it's not hard. I think a lot of people pay thousands of dollars for something they could most likely do themselves. So yeah, I'm that girl.
Cool. I dig that. You know, a lot of people just, like we were talking before that, they just may not have the head for it. Yeah. You know, some people like more on the analytical side.
Exactly. And so when I talk about having a CFO, a chief financial, like I'm not the finance person. You know what I mean? Like,
no, you're not the bean counter.
Yeah, that's not me. Yeah. I'm like, okay, creative, visually, like what does it need to look like? How does the marketing need to look? But as far as like the numbers and on all that kind of stuff, we handle that with somebody else.
You know what? I actually really get that. You know, because I like to think I'm like super creative. Yeah. You know, and I think in certain aspects I am.
Yeah, I think you are.
Really?
I mean, you create these videos, you edit them.
Oh, like, man, go ahead. Okay.
That's creative.
I mean, you know, but there's definitely people out there that are a lot better than I am, and I acknowledge that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like my man, Jamar Hutchinson, like he's definitely nice with the videos and stuff like that, and I learned some stuff from him too. Yeah. So I'm glad you said that. You know, you say okay, you delegate. So that's actually pretty dope too, because people think that you have to do everything.
You don't. You shouldn't.
And if you're doing everything, something's gonna be lacking. You know, if you focus, like you said, on the creative side of it, that's why your stuff looks the way it looks. Yeah. That's why your market is on point. Yeah. But when it comes to the analytics, the black and whites, you know, the papers, making sure the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, you delegate that. Yep. So, and I think in this, like today's world, where you can do a lot with your phone, people assume I'm just gonna do it all myself. Yeah. You might want to rethink that.
I mean, and then at the end of the day, and I made a post about this today, is sometimes people need to set the groundwork for their execution rather than trying to just come up with a caption. You know what I mean? Action before caption. So like, what framework do you need to put in place before you execute? You know, a lot of times people just want to showcase everything. And yeah, you can showcase things, but when people start buying your stuff, do you have the right system and the right framework to hold that up? You know what I mean? Because if you don't, it's just going to collapse. So I really try to tell people that, like, don't be so pressed to like showcase everything. Really create what you're trying to do first and think about all like the ins and outs of it. And then when it's time to pop, that'll be your time, you know?
So basically you're saying make sure you plan.
Make sure you plan and make sure you understand that like there is a framework and there is a system, and put those in place first, you know, whether that's through Shopify, whether that's through, you know, I think Amazon has a good one. Well, I mean, as far as like e-commerce is concerned. But yeah, there's different platforms that you can use, but just making sure that you can sustain.
Where are you from?
I'm from here.
Okay.
DC.
Because I'm trying to figure out like an accent. You know what I mean? Because I'm not.
You sound like you're from New York. Are you from New York?
Yeah, I'm definitely from New York. I can't get rid of it.
No, you can't.
I've been down here for a while too, and it's like,
yeah,
I'm surprised it hasn't gone anywhere.
Where do I sound like I'm from?
I couldn't put my hand on it.
Is it like country or
no? It's not
okay.
country. It's like really neutral. You know, it's not a bad. I don't think it's a bad thing because DC definitely has an accent.
Oh, they do.
You know, and other parts of Maryland have accents, especially Baltimore.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to figure it out.
I equate that. I went to Catholic school, private school all my life. So I was the only black girl in the class.
So
you know,
speaking like properly,
very proper most of the time.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
It's
people get it twisted.
People think like,
it's not a bad thing to be able to speak properly.
It's not. So I, had a lot of that growing up, being the only black girl but then a lot of my black friends came from dance class, so like I would leave school, only black kid, and then I would go in an environment where tons of black girls. You know what I mean? So it was just completely night and day. Yeah.
So you wasn't like entirely.
Oh no. No. And my mom made sure, like, she was just like, yeah, you're going here because it's a good education, but we're going.
So DC, the city, or just like
actually
outside?
Maryland.
Just Maryland.
Yeah.
So like. Okay. Montgomery County, PG County, Howard County,
Waldorf.
Oh my God! I saw a meme where they said, "Okay, flights. The next flight, Waldorf."
Y'all are so rude.
And it was somebody going from, I think, from like, Bethesda. It was like, yeah, we're leaving from Bethesda, next flight.
And I came here from La Plata. That's why I was like, I'm gonna be a little bit late because La Plata, it's like Waldorf and then it's La Plata. So it's different. Yeah.
Yeah. I know when to play.
Yeah.
Damn, man. I'm sorry about that. I didn't know that.
Trust. We are here.
Right. I appreciate you coming, man. I really do. Like, you made the trip over here. Did you hit any traffic? I hit traffic.
No. I mean, it was a smooth shot when I came. So.
Okay. Well, you look nice. Where you going?
Thanks. A comedy show. Yeah. Later after this.
So you're gonna go ahead and put something nice on, laugh. And all of that. That's good.
Sip a little something, laugh a little bit. Yeah,
I dig that. So what's next? What's going on next? What's next for Authentic Martian? What's next for
so
Kayo?
I'm excited to do more stuff with media for a lot of my clients and a lot of people that have been reaching out. They love just to see like the new content that I've created, because like one thing I do pride myself on is figuring out trends and understanding like what's going on in social media and kind of like, I wouldn't say capitalize, but participate in it, and then that way we continue the conversation. But my overall goal, I think, and mission is for people to just be themselves and show up as themselves. There's a huge flex and there's a huge cap when people say like, oh, I do this or I do that, and I'm like, y'all, come on, just be authentic. You know what I mean? And that really is like my true and overall mission that I try to portray with people. Okay. And you can see it in my captions. You can see it in pretty much everything I do. Is like, we're gonna keep it real around these parts. So yeah.
All right. So we at the part of the show where normally it would end, but I like old school games.
Ooh, I love a good game.
And it's just rock, paper, scissors.
All right.
It's just rock, paper, scissors. And rock, paper, scissors to determine whether or not I ask you a fourth question.
All right, let's do it. How many are we doing, like shoot or no shoot? Like rock, paper, scissors, shoot?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay.
We're going to do it. Wait, was it 3 times?
Yeah.
It's 3 times. Yeah,
okay.
Rock, paper, shoot. So whoever wins. So if you win, you get to go ahead and enjoy your comedy show. We don't ask another question. Blah, blah, blah. If I win, we ask one more question.
Got you. All right.
I got to think about that question too. That's terrible. I should have had that ready to go.
Or how about I ask you a question?
You know what? I like that. That's fair. Let's do it.
All right.
So yeah, all right.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Damn.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh.
All right, I win.
So you win. You ask a question.
I ask you a question. All right. If you were to leave, like, what would be like your last thing? Like, if you were to die, your legacy. Like, what is that one thing that you're like, you know what? This is what I want to leave behind. This is what I want to be known for.
That is a strong question, and the honest to God answer.
Yeah.
I haven't found that yet.
Okay.
And that is
fair.
I think that's what keeps me up at night sometimes. So I gotta actually figure it out and get it done. So I think I'm getting close to it though. I'm starting to get a little bit more comfortable.
I heard this really good thing. And it was like off of Elaine, I forget her last name. She was the off of Teen Vogue. She was the editor-in-chief off of her masterclass. And she said, take the money out of it. She said, what is it that you just love to do? What is it that you value? That's your purpose. So money aside, it doesn't matter. Like, what is that one thing that you saying, you know what, like, I can't stop thinking about that. Like, that is definitely a value of mine. Then that's when you know that's your purpose. So I always think about that. I'm like, wow.
You know what? When I find that, and I do believe it's getting close to me really nailing it down.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a phone call.
Yeah, please do.
I'm going to talk to you about it.
Please do.
And then we're going to reconvene.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about it. Remember that 4th question that you asked me?
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you want to be known for?
Yeah.
What's your legacy?
Yeah.
I think that's a really important question for a lot of people, though.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have that, you kind of just walking aimlessly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that before that, damn, I feel like you interviewing me right now. Before that, yeah, it felt like that. It tends to happen sometimes. But yeah, you know, I think everybody has that moment where they're like, okay, where do I go?
Yeah.
So.
And that's normal. That means you're human.
Right.
You know, and even if that's something where you have to drop something you used to do to get to that next chapter of your life, you know, like that's fine. It's not a bad thing. It just means you're doing life right.
Right.
When life is complicated, you're doing it right.
I think I'm kind of doing that now.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, you know what? Yeah, we're going to have this conversation again. We definitely going to have this conversation. Y'all see that? She's interviewing me now on my own show. I thought I was the interviewer.
Sorry.
That's crazy. But anyway, again, I really do appreciate you coming by.
Yeah.
I know it was a little bit further drive than you thought it was, which is cool. I mean, you know, it happens.
It happens.
But yeah, man, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And hanging out with me.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I hope you come back.
I will. Thank you for having me.
All right,
4 questions, not 3 questions, y'all.
4 questions. All right. Y'all take it easy. We out.